The story of Dermott the Dalmatian is one you might expect would be taught in history books across the world, and yet few know the story of how Dermott Dalmatian, instead of just being another dog, wore a crown upon his head. It started when King Charles in the tiny nation of Avalon grew old and knew soon he would no longer carry on. Charles had no daughter. Charles didn't have a son. Who would take the throne when one day he was gone? He had no children at all, and with no royal heirs, he watched his dog Dermott come running up the stairs. At first glance, it was a game, as Charles took his crown and put it on Dermott's dog head like a hand-me-down. Look at how Dermott smiles and wags his little dog tail, just like he got a nice new gift delivered in the mail. Charles thought of the kind of things Dermott had done, never wanting to do things to hurt anyone. Now and then, Charles stepped on Dermott's tail. Dermott never blamed him without fear or fail. Dermott wasn't jealous. He never ever grew mad. Dermott's character was as good as anyone had. I've made my choice after a little bit of thinking. Dermott Dalmatian will be the country's new king. Or so Charles said, and it would soon be proclaimed. Avalon would have a new king. Dermott would be his name. And then eventually, and with joy and celebration, Dermott the king was crowned at a canine coronation. He looked so very proud with the crown upon his brow. Whether knew he was king, well, there was no way to know. Dermott the dog rode in a big happy parade, and then went home, and then Dermott played. He was not pretentious. He did not boast or brag. He did not change at all, like he had it in the bag. People across Avalon were not happy to start, but it wasn't long before they had a change of heart. We have a dog king, this cannot be good, they said of something nobody really understood. But soon people grew to love Dermott the king, and wrote songs about him that everybody could sing. Dermott did not sign any proclamations or any laws, but across the kingdom, so many people soon saw Dermott Dalmatian with a smile as big as you could draw as they lined up to get autographs from his paw. The good people of Avalon became a very happy nation whose national symbols were the spots of the Dalmatian. In school they soon taught about Dermott's charms. His picture soon graced a new canine coat of arms. Dermott was so kind to children, and even to cats. People everywhere got his picture on welcome mats. Everybody loved Dermott. Everybody was happy that Dermott was the nation's new king. Even the cats. Dermott the king's picture appeared on dinner plates. He was soon invited to visit other famous heads of state. He did not seek any fame or grow so very rich or buy any new clothes, not a single glittering stitch. During the years of the Dalmatian king of Avalon, people saw a king whose goodness was never gone. Stores and restaurants welcomed all dogs in, and people walked around with a big grin. Dermott Dalmatian, you see, was never ever upset. He did not spend or drive Avalon into deep debt. He enjoyed taking walks along the kingdom's streets. He did not make war or seek anyone's defeat. In fact, Dermott seemed to hardly change at all, and seemed to still like to fetch a tossed tennis ball. Things were happy within the kingdom's small borders, in this little world where Dermott issued no orders. Avalon's ruler was loved, as so many dogs are. Avalon was envied by people both near and far. And then, one day finally, at long last, the day came. Dermott grew old, and then a new king came. Along as human beings began to reign once again, but to this day statues of Dermott Dalmatian remain. And many here still talk of this era as a golden age, when life was good and none sought to turn the page. To this day, if you visit Avalon, you will soon see statues of Dermott Dalmatian, the kindest king